reminding Wike that power is not forever and that there is a God above. And now to the news in full. In Nigerian political landscape, there is no name more associated with a mix of determination, audacity, and sometimes controversy than that of Nyesom Wike. His tenure as the governor of Rivers State is remembered for his bulldog-like tenacity in implementing his policies no matter whose ox was God. Now, in his current role as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Abuja, he seems to have carried that same energy into the heart of Nigeria's capital. But while his strong-willed approach to governance has earned him a reputation as a no-nonsense leader, it is crucial to remind him that there is a line between firmness and overzealousness. Recently, Wike's decision to demolish the Ruga settlement along Airport Road in Ludbe, Abuja, sparked outrage among residents and activists leading the protest. Deji Adeyanju condemned the government's action, accusing the FCT task force of heavy-handedness and that left thousands homeless and businesses ruined. Despite the cries of the displaced residents, Wike remained resolute, insisting that no amount of protest or blackmail would halt his drive to sanitize the city. While there is merit in enforcing regulations and addressing security concerns, it is vital to recognize the human cost of such actions as Wike bulldozes through his ministerial mandate with uncompromising zeal. It would serve him well to remember that power is transient. The power he occupies today is not forever, and there is a higher power above him who watches over all. There is always a tomorrow, and history has a way of humbling even the mightiest of men. Wike's declaration that no protest will stop the demolition exercise reflects a man who is determined to get things done. But as laudable as his intentions might be, there is a danger when a public office holder begins to perceive dissent as an affront to their authority. Governance should never be about showing who is in control or flexing political muscles to prove a point. Well, that is what our politicians they like to do. Always trying to prove a point, always showing that they are the ones in power and they can do and undo. That is the kind of person that Wike is. By declaring no amount of protest will stop demolition, Wike's risk coming off as someone who is disconnected from the realities of those whose lives are affected by his policies. Obviously, he doesn't care. If he cares about the people, he will not be saying that. Demolishing settlements and rendering thousands homeless in the blink of an eye is not the mark of a compassionate leader. Even if these structures were illegal, there is a humane approach to implementing urban planning without causing mass suffering. Wike must remember that these are the same citizens who once hailed him as a hero in Rivers State for his infrastructural strides and tough stance on security. However, in his current role, he is dealing with a diverse and sensitive demographic in Abuja. This city is just not another state capital. It is the heart of Nigeria, home to people from all walks of life, many of whom have struggled for years to eke out a living. Displacing them overnight without adequate resettlement plans is akin to kicking a man who is already down. I'm telling you, people are already suffering. There's a lot going on in the country, and yet they now still have to think about where to sleep again. You don't have to think about hunger alone. You have to think about where you stay, where you lay your head with your family. That is like going from fire pan to fire. Nyesom Wike is not the first Nigerian politician to wield power with a heavy hand, and it certainly would be the last. Yet, history is filled with lessons that those in power often forget. The corridors of power are littered with the echoes of past leaders who thought they were invisible until the tides turned. As Wike bulldozes through policies with the same energy he displays as Rivers State governor, he should recall that even his own past battles had their limits. During his time in Rivers, he faced several political challenges, including tussles with the federal government, which nearly cost him his position. If there is one lesson to be learned from that era, it is that power is fleeting. The applauses of today can quickly turn into the jeers of tomorrow. No matter how strong his grip on Abuja may seem right now, Wike would do well to tread carefully. His overbearing style, if unchecked, could backfire. The people whose homes he demolishes today may not forget his action when the tables turn. Nigeria's political history has shown that the pendulum of power swings unpredictably. One moment a leader is untouchable, and the next they are at the mercy of those they once scorned. That is what they don't understand though, and it can happen at any point in time. In the words of the Holy Scripture, the Most High is sovereign over the kingdoms of men and gives them to anyone he wishes. Daniel 4 verse 17. This is a reminder that all power is ultimately derived from a higher source. Wike must remember that his current position is not an entitlement, but a privilege given to him by the president, who was elected by the people, and above all, there is divine authority that supersedes human power. The minister's overzealous approach to governance, especially in a sensitive city like Abuja, may win him applauses from those who crave order. However, it is God who ultimately controls the destinies of men. As a public servant, humility should be his watchword. That one is what he doesn't have. He is not humble. When God was sharing humility, it was not available. It is important for Wike to understand that true power does not lie in the ability to demolish homes and displace thousands, but in the wisdom to balance enforcement with compassion. Tomorrow is unpredictable, and the political tides can shift in an instant. One day, Wike will no longer be Minister of FCT. How will he be remembered? As a leader who brought positive change with compassion, or as one who left behind a trail of tears and destruction? The choice is his to make. But he must remember that every action taken today is a seed sown for the future. Good governance is about more than just enforcing rules and regulations. It is about empathy, compassion, and the willingness to listen. The residents of rural settlements are human beings with families, livelihoods, and dreams. They are not just statistics in urban planning agenda. Yes, some settlements may be illegal, but there are humane ways to address this issue that do not involve rendering people homeless overnight. Wike's critics are not necessarily against his efforts to improve Abuja, but they are questioning his approach. The minister could take a page from his own playbook in Rivers State, where he combined firmness with dialogue by meeting the affected residents halfway and providing alternative housing solution. Exactly. You're not providing alternative for these people. You just want them to be homeless just like that, because you feel you have the power to do so. They are building are illegals. If you are doing the right thing, if our governments are doing the right thing, we won't have illegal building everywhere. People will be okay. Everybody will be doing well in their own rights. But no, our country is not good. People are just struggling to survive, and they'll just do something to make sure that at least they have a roof over their head. And now you have destroyed their places that they are living. There is hunger. Everything is wrong. And yet they'll still be looking for a place to stay. It's wrong. As Wike continues his ministerial duties, it is important for him to remember that leadership is not a sprint, but a marathon. The people who suffer today due to his policies may be the same ones whose support he will need tomorrow. A leader who lacks empathy and resorts to heavy-handedness may achieve short-term success, but history has shown that such a strategy often leads to long-term regrets. Wike must be guided. He should recognize that there is a higher power above him, and one day he will have to account for how he used the authority given to him. In fact, Wike should not let the euphoria of his newfound ministerial powers becloud his judgment. Let him be reminded that there is a God above, and tomorrow will come. Power is transient, and those who forget this often pay a steep price. Let him rule with compassion, remembering that what goes around comes around. I don't think Wike is going to listen to that one. I'm not sure. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.